Good morning, everybody. It is 10 o'clock on Friday, September 15th, 2023. And today we have Kristen Fredericks from the marketing department with us. And right now she's going to do buy-side capturing seller leads. So if you have questions, please raise your virtual hand, type it in the chat. We will answer your questions as quickly as we can. Sometimes Kristen doesn't take a breath, so we'll try and get her to pause to answer questions for you. But without further, I'll turn it over to Kristen.
Thank you, Tim. All right, let me get you guys on the right screens here. There we go. All right, so this morning we're going to be talking about driving seller leads using your home value system, your home value marketing system. Every single person in the company has this, and it is really easy to get to. All you need to do is be signed on to RWT Connect. Again, that's rwtconnect.com. Every person has a login for this. And you'll find on our main dashboard here, we have all of these quick tools and different links for things. One of them is Buyside right here. Just want to give you a quick heads up, since this is a new recording for us, that Buyside has been rebranded a little bit. They have renamed their company Percy AI. So you may see us use those terms interchangeably going forward in the future. Right now, they're using Buyside powered by Percy AI, but we understand that they'll probably go to Percy AI completely here sometime in the future. So just know that when we're talking about those two things, that's what we're talking about. Once you go ahead and click on that Buyside button, it's going to go ahead and take you into your dashboard for Buyside. Today, I'm already logged into our marketing suite up here at the top. We're going to look at this home value site right here. If we go ahead and click that, it's going to bring us to this marketing suite. And these are the tools that we're going to talk about today and kind of using for best practices. This is just about driving seller leads today. So I want to take a look at the home value site first before we do anything else, just so that we all know what we're talking about today. I happen to be on Ralston's website, Ralston.Dane. We use this for training, and we have lots and lots of different things on it, so it might look a little busy. But for those of you who have a website through the company, you'll notice that you probably have a call out either in your navigation bar or on your website, or both in some cases, called "How much is my home worth?" You can go ahead and click it right from there. Or if you're in your home value site, if you go ahead and click that preview my site right here, it's going to take you to that live site that you can use if you don't have a website. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and use Ralston's right here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at that home value report so that we can talk about how we can best use it in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and just enter an address. This is what anybody would have to do if they came to your site. This is the first thing that they see when they click on the "How much is your home worth" link, whether it's on social or whether they're using a QR code, whether they're getting it directly from you or off your website. This is where they're going to land. And we're going to go ahead and just enter an address here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one. And it's going to try to give us an address based on AI. So it's trying to pull in some addresses. This one happens to be in Suffolk for sure. We're definitely not working in Greensboro, but I did want you to notice that you can use it in other areas. So just think about that for those of you who like to do relocation and referral work. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and it's going to go ahead and bring up that home value report. Now, what has happened right now in the background is that Ralston has received an email that says, "Hey, somebody checked the value of their home, and here's the address, and here is the person who owns it on the tax record." Now, that might not be the person who's actually checking their home value. Sometimes it's a nosy neighbor. Sometimes we'll see that they'll check an address, and then maybe the second address is one, maybe two doors down or so. That's usually the owner. So you can kind of get used to it, but you know that somebody in that neighborhood or somebody on that road is actually looking at their home values. So this is our home value report that's available to everyone on the internet, as long as they go ahead and put in their address. This happens to be my mother-in-law's house. No, she's not interested in selling. I've already asked her lately. All right. As we go down, you're going to see lots and lots of different buttons. These are all different calls to action that are also going to drive traffic to your
Kristen,
site. Go ahead.
Can you move your screen a little bit? Change your resolution. There you go. Oh,
Hold on. Does that help?
I'm just still there. The buttons now just popped up. So you should be good right there.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Nope. It's resizing itself, and all we're getting is, yeah.
Can you see the home values there?
Yes.
And you're okay if I continue to scroll?
Yep. Scrolling's going now. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I hadn't scrolled yet. That's one of the issues. Okay.
Oh, you were talking about the buttons, and I couldn't see the buttons. Sorry.
Yep. No, you're fine. So all of these different buttons that you're going to see on here are all lead generators. So if somebody wants to change information or claim this listing, they're going to have to give you more information. If I wanted to say I'm the owner so that I can change this square footage, maybe I know that I converted my garage and I have 400 more square feet than is available on here. This is pulling from the public record. Maybe it's not recorded yet, or maybe it hasn't been updated. If I want to claim any of that, I'm going to have to say, yes, I'm going to verify my ownership, and I'm going to have to give more information to that person. That is also going to generate an additional email to you that says that somebody has claimed this property as the owner, or somebody has claimed this property for whatever reason, and it's going to give you that information. So they're going to have to give you a real name. They're going to have to give you a real email address. And that's when you can really start some of that heavy prospecting, because you actually have a live person on the other end. An additional piece of prospecting that you have on these reports is the receive monthly updates on this property. We love this feature. We see a lot of people use it. And this is where they're going to have to give you a first name, last name, and email address to get that monthly update on this property. This is probably one of the overlooked portions of driving seller leads, is to encourage people to sign up for that monthly update, in addition to getting their how much is your home worth value report on here. You'll also notice some of these edit buttons. And again, they're going to have to claim this as the owner. They're going to have to give you some sort of information in order to make this happen. On this report, you're going to see that it comes in with different values. And this may change based on where you are. Normally we're seeing RPR, and we'll see some assessments. There's lots of different sources in here. And so they may change, but usually you'll get 3. Some of our really rural areas may only get 2 if there's just not a lot of information available to us. Notice that this range is enormous. And this is an important piece here, because as the realtor are the expert in this, and we want people to contact you to say, is my home really worth the 276, or is my home really worth 345? That huge range, and the only person who can make that determination is you, with actual data and analysis and things like that. That brings us to more calls to action. Do you need an expert opinion? Do you need a more in-depth valuation report? Contact that agent. Here's that property condition. Maybe somebody doesn't like those numbers. They want to see it a little bit higher, and they're like, no, my property is amazing. I've renovated the whole thing. I want to see if it changes if I hit excellent. They're going to go ahead and do that claim and give you more information. This report is also going to show that buyer heat map. And this is going to show that activity about where buyers are looking in the system. It's going to give us some basic information about what buyers are looking for. This is a great talking point here, knowing that if we list it for $299, we're going to have a less pool of buyers than we are if we're going to list it for over 300,000. Look at the huge jump there. And a great piece to have a conversation about is by bedroom here as well. Maybe this is a 3-bedroom, and we know that it would be limited because most people are looking for that 4-bedroom plus. These are just great information points for people who are pulling up this report. It's going to show the buyer activity in the last 90 days. And this is brought in from a source that is aggregating all of this information from our websites, our agent websites, some of the stuff in the BHHS network. It's also grabbing from Zillow and things like that. So there's 27 million online activities in Virginia, and they do define online activities as registered buyers, online inquiries, showing visits, open house, sign-ins, things like that. So a lot of this is coming from different programs that are available. So Showing Time would be one. I know they connect with Spacio for open house sign-ins and stuff like that as well. So basically a buyer activity is anytime somebody is putting any kind of search or information into a system that they can kind of quantify as having these values. And then we kind of pare it down here. Online activities within a 5-mile radius, online activities within a 5-mile radius and the home's price range, and then online activities within a 5-mile radius within the home's price range, looking for up to a 3-bedroom. So 57,000 is a lot of online activities. And we know that we're seeing a lot of online searches. This is a really popular price range. That number doesn't surprise me at all. These numbers can be much larger. and they can be much smaller. It really depends on the type of property that somebody is looking at. It depends on where they're located. And then now the fun part is the number of buyers that are searching right now in your area. This ends up being a great call to action for us to say that we can show you buyers who are looking for a home like yours right now in the system. So here we have those 5 buyers. And again, they're only identified by that buyer ID. This is all confidential. The only person who can actually see the information about the buyer and how to contact is the agent who actually put that in our system. And again, more calls to action to contact the agent. We're going to give them a couple more trends and stats, some nearby sales. And again, more ways to contact you. And again, we're going to ask them if they want to receive that monthly report on the property. This is a nice ask right here at the end after they've had all of that information on here. So one of the reasons I want to start with the home value report is because we tend to say, how much is your home worth? And maybe we put that out on social media and that's all that we say. Sometimes when we're doing these calls to action, the how much is your home worth portion of that may not be what touches that individual and may not resonate with that individual. There's other things that we can use that we're providing information here, and you can certainly decide on this for your own market, but you can say things like, sign up for a monthly report about your home's value, about your home's worth, whatever it happens to be. Find out if there's any buyers looking for a home like yours right now. See where you can use the heat maps and say something like, see where buyers are looking, or see what buyers are looking for right now. These are great captures to be able to use to drive traffic. And that's more than just how much is your home worth, which we see a lot of, obviously. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that home value system. All right, I'm back in our Buyside dashboard here, and we're going to talk about a couple of different ways to use this marketing suite here now that we've seen what that report is. Let's start with the QR code. Every single agent has a QR code built into their system already. And there we go. There's that download your QR code. This QR code is specific to you. It would go specifically to your home buyer portal with the how much is your home worth tool. You can download this QR code, and there's lots of different ways that you can use it. I would love to see more people use it on postcards, especially just listed or just sold, with a call to action about having other people check their home values. This is a great thing to do on a permanent leave behind. I know a lot of you are getting ready to do things like magnets and calendars and your year-end kind of stuff, even if you have magnetic business cards and stuff like that. This is a great thing to do, that if it's going to become something that gets stuck to a refrigerator or put on somebody's desk, or you know that they're going to use it in their household for whatever reason, you never know when somebody is thinking about selling their home or thinking that, hey, that house down the road sold for X number of dollars, maybe my home value has gone up too, and they'll be able to scan it 24/7 anytime during the year, not waiting for a postcard to come in the mail and not waiting for a direct mail piece. So do think about leaving it on those leave behinds and those permanent pieces, especially during the holidays right now as you get ready to send stuff out. Another couple of things that you can put on your QR codes. Don't forget to put these on your flyers as people do some kind of takeaway. You can also put this up at an open house. So if you have somebody who is coming through their open house and they are thinking about selling their home, potentially, obviously, if they're looking for another home, they might be thinking about selling theirs. This is a great thing just to have printed out and put up in your home, maybe in a little frame or something like that, with a great call to action on it. There's lots of different ways to use these QR codes. I've seen QR codes on all sorts of fun stuff, but do get creative with it. But I highly encourage you to use that call to action and download your QR code and use it on all of your information if you can. All right. Another couple of ways that we can go ahead and share the home value site that are probably a little unusual, you might not have thought about it before, driving seller leads, is you can actually add this to your email signature. So we do have the ability to have a cut and paste here. What is your home worth? Get 3 automated estimates instantly, no cost and no obligation. There's a link you can go ahead and copy right here and pop that right into your email signature. Another thing you can do is maybe add that QR code to your email signature as well. Those of you who just went through the whole signature piece probably know how to add additional images at this point. You could certainly put that QR code in your email signature as well. A couple of other places to think about using this email signature, though, and some of these calls to action with this link would be things like anytime you're sending out e-cards, just go ahead and add this to the bottom of it. Think about sending this out in your marketing resource profile. Think about adding this to your profile in RWT Connect, where you actually have a signature. So every time your property watch notifications go out, or every time you are sending some kind of action plan, or you're sending some kind of e-card out of RWT Connect, make sure that you have that "how much is your home worth" call to action on any of your pieces that are going out. Lots of different ways to use this link. Anytime you're sending any kind of information where a link can be included, it's certainly worth putting in there. All right, let's talk about sharing it on social media. There's lots of different ways that you can share this on social media, and there's lots of different ways to say the exact same thing for your calls to action on social media. It is really easy to share. So let me go back to Ralston's website here real quick, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab this link. So there we have the homevalue.rwtown.com/Ralston Audane. This will be the same link for everyone. And by the way, for those of you who are on a team, your team will also have a link. So if you have the agent team or the agent group, whatever it is, you also have an additional one that has your agent team name on it as well. I'm just going to go ahead and copy that real quick. And I'm going to show you how you can share that on Facebook. So right now I am on my training account. This is my business page training account for Facebook. And I want to show you how easy it is to go ahead and pull that in with a nice call to action on it. So I'm going to go ahead and find where it says post a new post, what's on your mind, whatever it happens to say. Some of the screens look a little bit different. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste that link right there. I wanted you to see that we already have an image tied to this. This image is called an OG image, and it's available for social media and things like that where it accepts it. So you already have that great call to action. It's already nicely branded. It's already very BHHS, and it has a good call to action on it about thinking of selling. We have buyers. And then it's going to go ahead and be branded to you as well. So as long as you're using your link with your name on it, it's going to say your name and then contact you to get home valuations. And there's a little bit more that goes on this once we post. Once you see this image come up like this, you can actually go ahead and take that link away. It'll stay linked as long as you see that image that's on there, and you can go ahead and put your call to action on here as well. So we can just reiterate this, thinking about selling. Check your home's value today. All right. And we can just go ahead and post that. Hopefully it stays unmuted there. Okay. All right, and this is what it looks like when it posts. Okay. This is a nice, easy post to be able to boost posts as well. So for those of you who have been thinking about doing some Facebook ads, boosting a post with "how much is your home worth" is certainly acceptable. We've built this graphic so that it's acceptable to Facebook. They like to see a little less text on it, and they like to see a little bit more graphic. So this is certainly going to pass the Facebook test for boosting a post. But this is a nice, interesting, easy one for you to be able to boost to try to get more seller leads on here. I want you to think about this too on your calls to action, especially on social media, that you don't have to be limited to "how much is your home worth" or "thinking about selling" or "check your home's value today." Think about all the different calls to action that you can also use. There's calls to action that you can use for people who are thinking about downsizing or that just need a change of lifestyle, even people who are relocating, because we know that that tool works in lots of different ways. And you can put any address in there, and it's going to bring in all that information. There's lots of different calls to action to use. You can certainly think about different ways to say things like that, but you can get very creative with this without just saying "how much is your home worth" every single time. So just think about something like that. Another good place to share this on social media that I don't see a lot of people sharing is on LinkedIn. This is a great place for you to be able to use some of your business savvy to be able to say something about a stat. So we know that we have the great Domus tools through RAIN. We also have great stats that come out from the company. And we can say something like, home values have increased, whatever it is, 5% in the last month. Check yours today. So you can certainly use some kind of more business savvy, more stat kind of heavy call to action in LinkedIn, and certainly share this to LinkedIn to try to encourage people to check their home value. Another couple of places that you can do the home value site, especially now that we can link, might be something like Instagram stories. Also a great place to put it. And don't forget that if you're using Instagram, to always make sure that to have your how much is your home worth link either in your bio section or go ahead and put it in your link tree for those of you who might be using some kind of linking software to be able to increase the number of links that you have on Instagram. You never know who's going to find it, and it's a great way to go ahead and link those all the way through. Those are the main ones that have the links on them, but I would like to mention I do have a couple of agents who are using this as Pinterest as well. This does pin really nicely into your Pinterest account. So for those of you who might still be using Pinterest, or those of you who are working with some Pinterest boards, especially in your local areas, to go ahead and post. A couple of other really creative places I've seen agents use this are things like neighborhood groups. If you're allowed to post in the neighborhood groups that you might belong to, and if you don't belong to your neighborhood group, you should on Facebook. You can certainly go ahead and say, 123 Main Street just sold for X number of dollars. Check your home's value today. And then you can certainly put a call to action about contacting you to get, a home analysis or something like that. Another couple of places that you might want to share, again, don't see a lot of people sharing this particular link, is in Nextdoor. Nextdoor does accept this link, and it'd be great, especially if you are a neighborhood expert, or if even you're doing some marketing on Nextdoor, to go ahead and post this link on there as well. So lots of different creative ways to do this. I haven't seen a lot of people use it in video yet. Kind of waiting to see some more videos come out about how much is your home worth. I'm kind of excited to see what that will look like in the next year or so as people really get into doing more with reels and stories and things like that. All right, I want to go back to this home value site here. We do have one additional tab on here, and that is called the widget for your website. I do get this question from time to time about, there's a widget for my website, how can I install it? It is already installed. All of this coding is already installed on your site builder website. So for those of you who have a site builder website, make sure that you have that how much is your home worth tab up in your navigation bar. And then also make sure every single one of our websites has calls to action, with a very few exceptions. Make sure that you have it in your calls to action as well. There we go, your home value report on here. That coding is automatically built in for you whenever you see those call to action drop down. So you don't necessarily need to use the widget. It is there for companies who don't provide those kind of website tools to their agents. But it's also there that if you do have something like a WordPress blog that might be outside of our company websites or things like that, you can install that. If you need help with that website widget for whatever reason, or if you need help putting it up in your navigation bar, you can certainly contact web support at rwtown.com and we'll be happy to help you. So I hope I've given you a couple of ideas about how you can generate more seller leads in different places that you can use your home value report. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have right now.
Hi, I have a question. I'm
Sure.
sorry I didn't raise my hand. I'm on my phone. It's Ann Davis.
Uh-huh.
When you send that call to action, does it capture them?
Which call to action?
Any of them using the QR code? Does it
So
capture?
it's not going to capture them specifically. It would only capture if they went ahead and put in that address, or if they claimed that listing, or if they signed up for that monthly report.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any additional questions?
You can type it in the chat if you need to, or just unmute yourself. Anybody going once? Going twice. All right. Thank you for being here for Buyside Capture the Seller Leads.